Good evening. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tonight we're doing a show on how to find the best carpet cleaner in your town or city. And this is actually going to be answering a lot of questions. And in doing so, we're going to go into how to find the best carpet cleaner in your area. So, Angela and I have done a few of these now. Well, actually just a couple. This is our third, but these are a lot of fun. So we have several people that have asked some questions. We're going to be answering these questions together. And the first one is from CCB. And we had a bunch of really good questions from CCB, the last one that we did. And so as follow-up, they have asked several more. So one of the things CCB said first was that they're nervous about a stranger coming into their home. This home is 2 years old, and up to this point, they've handled all the repairs themselves.
Ooh.
So, I get it. Yeah, I think that's I'd be a little freaked out too, maybe, especially because some carpet cleaners are real shady and weird.
Yeah.
I've met some shady, weird carpet cleaners. So your first question is: do customers watch you while you're in each room?
There are some that do. Yes. And there's some that just get out of your way. They'll go hang out in the garage or the kitchen or on the back porch and just let you do your thing. And then there's some that will follow you around.
From room to room.
Room to room.
And there's some that will leave a key under the mat or give you the garage code.
Yeah.
We have a lot of those. But yeah, it's a trust thing.
Yes. For us, we run in two-person teams too. So there's no one's ever left alone.
More accountability.
Yeah, exactly. And as a female, I could see how it would be uncomfortable having a stranger in your home.
So maybe you're a female.
I don't know if
We'll
you are
assume
female.
we'll assume CCB is a female for now.
Yeah, I could see how that'd be uncomfortable.
And I apologize if you're not, or if you identify as a man. It's whatever.
I was alone when he came to clean my carpets, and look
here
what
we
happened.
Go. Look
what happened.
That's putting him at ease. The next question is it weird for you if they do? Talking about following you from room to room.
I don't find it weird, but honestly, I find it kind of constricting on what we can do, because usually they're in the way. There's hoses and stuff, and we usually have a flow of how we do things that people have. Well, the way our teams run is that we each have roles. We'll have the person that's using the wand, they extract, and then we have someone that will help with the hoses or go get a solution or something out of the van. So there's like a lot of movement going on, and if somebody's there like hovering over, let's say, I don't want to say hovering, but are in the doorway watching us, that can kind of get in the way.
Yeah.
It can kind of mess things up.
So it's not necessarily weird. Well, it could be weird. If you're weird, then it could be weird. You could make it weird. But, I mean, I had one today, and this guy served within the Navy. Real good guy. I've known him for years. Worked for him for many, many years. But he had never seen us do a power stretch. And he even said, like, ooh, that sounds exciting. That sounds intriguing. I want to watch. And I loved having him there watching. I'm a people person. I love to engage with the client, with our customer. And so for me, I kind of like it. I kind of like to show off. To me, what we do is exciting. It's fun. It's rewarding. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like enthralled with the whole process. I couldn't believe it was amazing. And the first time I saw it, it was literally just a splash and dash. It wasn't the full, it wasn't what we do now. It wasn't putting on a show.
I don't mind it if it's like a large open space. I just don't like it if it's constricting on what I need to do to clean the carpet well.
And then she'll probably throw you some attitude.
No, I never do.
Okay. Next question. Is there a reason you wouldn't recommend it? I think we kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it could potentially make somebody nervous. I think communication's key.
So when we come in, we're going to tell you what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's...
Well, and hopefully we can help you find a carpet cleaner that will do the same.
Yeah. We explain the process. I explain the process on the phone, and our technicians and Dan will explain the process when we get there, so you kind of know what you're expecting.
Why we're doing it.
Yeah.
But is there a reason I wouldn't recommend following them around room to room? Only if you identify the fact that it may potentially make whoever you get to come out nervous. Which I think just communicating, hey, I've never had this done. I'd really love to watch. Are you okay with that? And if they're like, yeah, that's cool, or, I'd rather not, that kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, and don't pick up the hose.
Oh yeah, don't touch.
Yeah, don't touch the hoses.
Don't touch our stuff.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
That's a no-no.
That's kind of like
we've had some customers. They think they're helping.
Yeah,
they're not helping.
No.
Next is who's liable if something breaks or is damaged in the cleaning process.
We have insurance for that.
And I think any reputable carpet cleaning company is going to say the same thing. I mean, there are companies, a lot of them, friends of mine actually, that will get you to sign a waiver of liability, basically waiving, your right, basically saying if we break something, sorry, but it's on you. And I mean, I feel like
I'm all about taking responsibility too.
Yeah, and I'm all about thinking that making a client or customer sign something like that is just one. It's not. You don't need to do it because again, all the years we've been cleaning, which is I'm going to ruin the next question. Yes, it has happened more than a few times, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
it's really not. So I think that'd be a great question to ask in the interview process, which I'm going to go into later on in our show. So, has that happened at a job? What happened and how was it resolved? Ooh, story time.
Which one?
There's been so many. So the first one,
so many.
There's been we break something every day.
No, we don't.
No, but the first one I can remember, my dad and I were cleaning in a mobile home park. I won't mention the name in case they're watching. And there was a little clock hanging on the wall. It was like a cheap little clock you could literally buy at Walmart for probably $10 or $20. And we were cleaning, and I could see the potential of the hose knocking the clock off the wall. And not as soon as I said, "Hey, Dad, be careful of the clock," and he was turning around, just as soon as I said that, so it's probably my fault, the clock came off the wall, came down, broke, and we were immediately like, "Oh my gosh, we're so sorry. We'll buy you another one. We'll pay you, whatever." And, "Oh no, it's fine. It works fine." The next day, customer called and wanted $100 for this clock. And of course we were like, okay, no problem. And just, because even though we can, later we've had many times where we're like, there's no way that clock costs $100. But better to do just the right thing by your customer, I think.
I think the most common one would be when you open a door, if there's not a door stop, the door could put a dent in the wall.
Oh yeah.
That's I think the most common one. So you got to be aware of that. I like to tell our technicians that. Be aware. If there's especially if there's no door stopper, be aware of opening that door.
The most recent one I can remember, well, other than that, is we had, I wasn't there. No, I was there. A table broke, a end table, a nightstand, a nightstand with a marble top on it, really nice. And one of our technicians broke a piece off of that. And long story long, we basically ended up saying, "I'm really, really sorry. Whatever you want us to do. I'll buy you a whole new set of bedroom furniture if that's what you think is right. Or I will, whatever you want. Whatever you want us to do, we will fix it." And they hired somebody to come out and fill it or whatever. And it was $100 and we wrote them a check. That was that. So, but again, great questions.
Yeah, I like to take responsibility. So.
Yeah. So next you say, take Angela wherever, it looks like Angela needs a vacation. Take her wherever she wants to go. These comments are good. These are great. As soon as this Rona thing is up, we'll probably go.
We plan on taking a vacation.
Next questions comes from So Fitted. So Fitted writes, as a cleaning company, do you prefer residential homes, apartment complex contracts, or office spaces and commercial buildings? ? I'm a young, new carpet cleaner in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I want to target apartment complexes. Do you have any advice on how to approach these types of businesses?
The one thing I will say about I guess I'll say two things, is that it's consistent. There's people always moving in and out. It's very consistent, but a majority of them are cheap. They have budgets. So, I mean, you're not going to get paid a whole lot on doing one apartment. consistency and doing a number of them is what really makes them profitable. But
Volume.
Volume, exactly. But yeah, they're not big money makers, I would say, unless you're doing like water restoration and things like that. But just basic carpet cleaning, most apartment complexes are pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'd say like kind of depends on your area, because
Yeah.
we're really fortunate. We're a very small area, so there's not as much competition. Just south of us is Jacksonville, Florida. The apartment contracts down there, you're getting literally a fraction of what we get just north a little bit.
Right.
So ways to maximize, if you are looking to get into apartment complexes, ways to maximize it: learn how to do repairs, permanent bonded inserts,
Bleach spot
stretching,
repairs.
bleach spot repairs, carpet restretching,
Water loss.
water restoration. Yeah, we just had one of those, like literally just got back from doing one. It was 2 units, an upstairs and a downstairs. And that's a very lucrative little side hustle as well, doing water restoration.
Another thing about commercial accounts is they don't pay immediately. Usually.
Yeah. Usually it's 30, 60, net 90, net 60,
I mean,
something
you're
like
waiting
that.
on a check.
So there's benefits to,
And
you
you have to
say...
have certain insurances for...
Yeah, they do require, most of them require quite a bit of above and beyond. Like the one contract we just did tonight, they require $5 million umbrella policy in addition to $2 million general liability. And all our vehicles have to have like some ungodly amount of coverage as well.
Another thing about apartment complexes is they're usually more than one story. So pulling up the hoses, it could be like the third story. You have to pull up all your equipment to the third story. And parking usually.
But it says young.
Okay, but parking can be an issue too, unless if you're doing truck mount, that can be an issue. But if you're doing a portable, you still have to lug it. But there are little logistics of things that you have to think about when you're doing apartment complexes.
So your first question, as a whole, do we prefer residential, apartment, office, commercial? I mean, in our area, again, we only live in a county with 53,000 people. So I've always thought in order to maximize the potential for growth of our company, we need to be very versatile. We're not picky.
Yeah.
I mean, we're picky for the type of people we want to work for, but we're not going to turn any one of those down. If it's an apartment and it's willing to pay our rates, we'll be happy to clean for them. If it's a commercial building, residential, it doesn't really matter. My favorite, I guess, would probably be residential, only because I'm usually interacting with a customer, and like I said, but there's pros and cons to every single type.
And yeah, with apartments and commercial accounts, we're lucky that we have teams that can do that. Because sometimes, apartment complexes will call the day before, hey, we need this cleaned tomorrow because we have a move-in,
And for many, many years, I would just, you got it, I'll be right there.
Yeah, so...
And that takes a toll.
Well, we're fortunate that we have, at least 3 teams that we can fit that in somehow, but they can be demanding, time-wise. So that's another thing to think about.
And cheap, so have fun.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
No.
But so can residential. You have to, residential is a very wide market too. High-end, low-end,
Right.
middle income, to identify your target your ideal client and your target market is important regardless. But in the beginning, I wasn't picky, and I would recommend, that's kind of my advice is don't be picky. Just get in it and make some money. Find out what you like. You may really like one over the other, but if you don't try them all, you'll never know.
Good thing about apartment and, commercial accounts is that, it's pretty consistent, so.
Yeah, consistency is definitely one of the perks of commercial and apartments. Yeah. Although you can set up for, marketing to your existing client. Once you get a residential client, you can actually market to them on a regular basis and with all different types of, marketing plans now. And that's a very effective way to make those very consistent as well.
And commercial and office spaces usually want later in the day. Like
or night.
After
yep.
business hours or at nighttime.
Or weekends.
Or on weekends.
Yep.
Exactly. So that's another thing to think
it's
about.
Are
you willing to do that?
How does that float your boat? So the last question, do you have any advice on how to approach these types of businesses, specifically referring to apartment complexes? And my favorite way to get in there, get your foot in the door is to walk in, smile, of course, and then I think it's cheesy to bring donuts your first go, but that's one way to get their attention. Just walk in.
They love free food.
Smile and ask them if they're happy with their current.
Satisfied.
If they're satisfied with their current carpet cleaning company. More often than not, they're going to immediately say, yes, we are. And that's in an effort to shut you up and get you out the door. So what I always say to this is, that's awesome. We're not here to try to take anything away or, step on toes. But we do feel like it's always a good idea to have a backup. We would love to be your backup carpet cleaning company. And in an effort to show you that we know exactly what we're doing and we're worthy of being a backup for you, we would like to do a free apartment cleaning, and pick a bad one. Pick something with red repairs. I tell them this, and I said, let us come in for free and just show you what we can do. And we've gotten several really good accounts from doing that approach. So next is Amanda Quackenbush put, can we please see a video on how to make that avocado salad?
Yours?
Yeah, mine.
It's just
she loves it.
Bunch of stuff mixed together.
It's a bunch of plants. But yes, I'm going to do a video on that coming up soon, just to really mess up our channel. It's supposed to be a cleaning channel, and I'm just going to mess it all up.
Clean eating.
I'm going to clean eating. There you go. Yeah. I'm going to mess it up with videos like this that have no cleaning and also making a salad. Last but not least, okay, how do you find the best? If you've watched to this point, yay, you get the prize. Now you get to find out how to find the best carpet cleaning in your area. So CCB, the first round of questions, we brought up the idea of posting it on Facebook or some other type of social media. We love those resale sites.
Yeah, ask your friends and family too.
Yeah, that's another good one.
If you have family in the area. And hopefully you have some friends.
Yeah, and but post them maybe your neighborhood, your local neighborhood Facebook group if they have one, or one of those resale sites. But social media can be a really good way of getting referrals. Like Angela mentioned, friends and family would be perfect, but if you don't have any friends and family locally that are raving about a local cleaner and you're having to do your own research, that's a great way. And then next, neighbors would be great. Next would be Google reviews. So look up on Google, and I would say Google #1, but then check Yelp and Bing and do cross-reference on all. So maybe get, if you're hip to like the Angie's List or whatever, I mean, check them all and identify maybe 5 or 6 companies, or 3, whatever you're comfortable with, the more the merrier, that maybe bounce into the top 10 spaces on multiple search engines, not just Google. So that's a great way to identify the top companies. Now, those aren't always great companies, but that's a good way to get to the interview process. So once you identify maybe 6 companies that are kind of high ranking review-wise in your area, call each one of them up and ask them if they'd be willing to do a free in-home estimate.
And if they answer, that's a good plus too. If they answer or get back to you.
You learn so much just by picking up the phone.
Yeah. How they answer the phone. They can tell a lot by that, how they answer the phone.
If they answer, how long it takes for them to answer. And yeah, you can learn a lot. Angela doesn't like doing this. She doesn't like talking on the phone. I love talking on the phone. And I think it's so easy to just pick up the phone and boom, do 6 phone calls and just see how they answer the phone. And then ask them, hey, I'm new. I've never had my carpets professionally cleaned. I'm wanting to see if you're willing to come out and look at my carpets and tell me if they're even cleanable, and explain to me the process, and do you do free in-home estimates? And if they're like, we can give you an estimate on the phone. Okay, that's great, but is there any way to send out a technician to kind of look at them and just give me an idea?
And if you're scared of being alone with somebody, invite a friend over.
Invite a friend over. A carpet cleaning party.
Yeah, make it a party.
Make it a party, I guess. Okay. But yeah, and then yes, you learn a lot when you call them. Yes, you learn a lot if they pick up, how they answer the phone, their customer service skills. But then way more so, you get an idea of, is this somebody I want to be in my house cleaning when they actually show up? So assuming you can get 1 or 2 or 3 or 6 companies to actually show up and look at your project and give you a price, really the price, I'm sure at this point, is secondary. For you, it sounds like you're the kind of person that would pay a little bit more to get what you would consider to be a lot more. So you're kind of our ideal customer. You're a little picky. That's perfect. That's what we like. But a lot of companies aren't going to respond well to that. They're just going to be like, no, we'll give you a price on the phone. And that was us just a few years ago. But if you can get a few people to show up, that's huge. Are they early? Are they late? Are they right on time?
Are they in uniform?
Do they have a uniform? Yeah. Are they well groomed? Do they smell like they just smoked a cigarette or like something else? Do they smell like they just crawled out of a dumpster or a bar? So there's so many different things that you're going to be able to tell. And basically think of it like an interviewing process. They show up and you're going to drill them on all the things that you're, concerned about. Ask them, hey, if something breaks while you're cleaning my home, what happens? What can I expect to happen? And just see what they say. If somebody asked me that, I would say, well, it depends on probably what broke and how, but we would probably immediately try to make that right. If we couldn't, for some crazy reason, we would file a claim on our insurance and allow them to come in and do it as well. So, which we've never had to do that. We usually
we've never had to do that yet.
Exactly. Okay. I think that sums it up. Only other question we had was from MK Carpet Cleaning, which I think he also contacted me on Facebook as well. He was wondering, would we entertain a ride-along for carpet repair and maybe cleaning? Mm-hmm. So several people have reached out to me lately and said, hey, can you do a ride-along? One of them wanted Angela and me to do like bleach spot repair and dyeing. And so the good news is, yes, we are very willing to allow other cleaners to come right along with us and learn from the best.
Dan likes talking, so...
If you can't tell, I love to talk.
Yeah, he would love to have people come in.
And several people have come and done ride-alongs with us and would say that was they've said that's a really, really good experience. The only downside is obviously we cannot guarantee you're going to see a stretch job or a patch job or a water loss or a bleach spot repair.
Or a full room dye. Like
that's not very common. Yeah. Right. Now repairs are pretty common, but if you come for just a 2 or 3 day ride along, the chances of getting everything you want to see in that period of time is probably not real great.
Yeah.
But we got some stuff we could, mess around with at the house and show you some stuff too. So anyway, good show. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, our logo should be popping up here on the screen. Hit our logo, which is this weird thing here. I don't know what it is. That will allow you to subscribe to our channel. If you haven't mashed the thumbs up on the video yet, please do that now. And of course, more questions in the comments. We would love to answer any of your other questions you may have. Yes, more questions. These are fun. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.